Ladies and gentlemen, our second panel of the day is very, very interesting by the name itself. The hottest trend today, licensing and an amalgamation of global and Indian licensing leaders. Let me invite our session moderator, Christina Angelucci, Editor-in-Chief, Licensing Magazine, to take it ahead from here.
Good morning, everybody. Okay, ciao. Thanks again to License India to inviting me to moderate your session. Now is the third time. I think we are doing this while we are all waiting to go back and having in-person events, and I hope it will happen soon. It looks like this year will be still a bit troubling and challenging, so we have still wait a while before we can go back and meeting in person. And so in the meantime, these kind of events are really worthy and useful to share our ideas and thoughts, and to have an update on what's new and next in our business. Licensing business, of course, has felt this pandemic period as all the other business, but our business also is crossing all the categories. So we felt very hard what has happened in the fashion lifestyle, but also in a more positive way, what has happened in terms of board games and books and children's stuff, and that instead were not so negative during pandemic. As we have exactly 45 minutes for our speech, I would love to introduce you who will join me during this meeting. So I see Avnet Singh Marwa, and CEO of SSPL. Then he will tell us more about his business. Then I welcome also Anvita Prasad, Associate Vice President, Licensing and Merchandising, Green Gold Animation. And then I welcome Silvia Figini, COO of Sanrio, EMEA, Oceania, and India, and Mr. Man Ltd worldwide. So I hope to see you all. I just see Anvita, I can see Silvia, and I can see Anvita. Eccola Silvia, here you are.
Unfortunately, I can't start my video. It is not letting me to start.
Anvita, I can see her. Just wait for these technical issues.
Christina, but I can't start my video, unfortunately.
Okay.
I can't start my video.
I think because the organizers should allow you.
Yeah, maybe. I'm trying, but it's not happening.
Yes. So we can, I can start with, oh, okay, so.
Just give us a minute, we'll just work on it and get back to you.
Okay, so we wait, okay? We wait a bit for Anvita, just to be kind. I mean.
Thank you.
Okay. This is the beautiful of the live sessions. So it's normal to have this kind of troubles, but I'm sure we will reach it out soon. So in the meantime, just to go back, go inside these issues and to learn more about each other. And
I am so sorry to interrupt. Ms. Prasad, I think the issue is from your end, because from here, everybody is allowed to put on their videos.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, you can go ahead with Avneet. I'll try to figure it out.
Yeah, please, we'd love to see you.
Yeah.
Okay, so we started to proceed a bit just to take advantage on our timing. So Anvita Singh Marwa, I hope to pronounce well your name. If you could tell more about, so you can make a short introduction about your business in India. And I have seen that you represent Kodak also in India. So if you can tell more about you, introduce yourself.
Yeah. Hi, Christina. Thank you, everyone, and good evening to everyone. So I'll just introduce myself and about my company. We are SPPL. We are proud brand licensee for 4 brands in India. And we started with Kodak, then Thomson for televisions, then White Westinghouse, and now we'll be launching one more brand in India. We are primarily a TV manufacturing brand, and then we uplifted our infrastructure, and today we are #2 online selling brand if you combine together Thomson and Kodak. And one of our strategic partner is Flipkart. And we endorse Make in India, so we have all the in-house manufacturing facility for televisions. We are the proud UI owners of Google Android. We were the first Indian manufacturer to get a license from Google Android, and about 8th in the world. And most of the R&D has been done in India. Currently, our products, our televisions are available in more than 17,000 pin codes. Company has about more than 550 service centers with about 28 company-owned warehousing.
Wow, okay, great. So then, Anvita, finally we can see you. We had a very short introduction before in the green room, but please share with everybody about your business. So in this case, if you can introduce us a bit more about Green Gold Animation Company, and which is your main goal within your company. Yeah. The audio. Audio.
I'm Anvita.
Okay,
I'm so sorry for the trouble today. I'm here to represent Green Gold Animation. Green Gold Animation is the leading animation company in India, and known for creating the original Indian content. I mean, commonly people know Green Gold Animation as Chota Beam Company. Whenever, I mean, that's our tentpole property. In 2001, Mr. Rajiv Chilaka, who's our MD, started a small animation company in Hyderabad, and they started making original Indian content, basically based on the Indian mythology. And they made a couple of shows like Krishna, Balram, and Love Kush, Chor Police. And after that, in 2008, they did a pilot of Chota Beam, and they approached Cartoon Network. And Cartoon Network was launching had launched a new channel called Pogo. And then they asked us to start with a 13 episode on Pogo. And that's how Chota Beam debuted in 2008. And what was started with 13 episodes is still on, and we are in our 14th season, and we have crossed 311 episodes on Chota Beam. So that's a 11-year long journey. And then as a Green Gold and Animation is the animation company, we also work on multiple projects for different channels. Our own IPs are Chota Bheem, of course, is our tentpole IP. But apart from that, over the period of time, we have launched Mighty Little Bheem, we have launched Super Bheem, and in 2019, we launched an international property along with Netflix, which is called Mighty Little Bheem. And it is a infant show, no dialogue show of 15 minutes. And the moment it went on Netflix, it got a #2 position. And today, I proudly say that within 6 months, it was at #1 position in preschool series. And it is a very, very popular show now in USA, Canada, Brazil, and some of the European countries. And basically, we're completing 2 years of the show. So soon we are planning the show on television in India. So that's all about mostly our IPs. Apart from the animation, my company is also involved in multiple other areas, like we are the movie business. On Chota Bheem, we have done 4 theatrical movies and 1 movie on Mighty Raju. Our last movie was Chota Bheem Kung Fu Dhamaka, which was distributed by Yash Raj, and it did very well. It was a well-distributed movie. Then we are also into the apps, games, and AR/VR businesses. And a very strong event team we have. And till last year, before Corona, we used to do 300 plus events with Chota Bheem in the every corner of the country, and where we take the mascots of Chota Bheem and other characters like Chutki and all, and we do nice meet and greet events in schools, in shopping malls, and give the chance to Chota Bheem fans to dance on Chota Bheem music and do photo op and handshake and those kind of stuff, and celebrate Chota Bheem birthday in a big way through these events. So these are the broadly the businesses we are involved into. And I already spoke about my IPs. Yeah.
Great. So you really do a lot of things, and then we will talk with you in deeper about the character and licensing in India. Absolutely. Yeah. So, Silvia, thanks so much for having joined us in this session. Of course, everybody knows who is Sanrio, but I think that you could tell us more about the topics of your brand in India, in particular, as you handle also the Indian territory, I suppose.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, and welcome to everyone. So Sanrio was founded back in 1960 in Japan by Shintaro Tsushi, and actually with the objective to foster communication, social communication. So the Tsushi family is still leading the company that now is a multinational company with local offices in 11 territories, plus a quite wide network of agents, including India. Sanrio is founded on a very simple philosophy of a small gift for a big smile, and connected to value like a connection of people, trusting friendship, and bringing happiness to the world, that actually are very relevant today in this difficult moment, even more than in the past. As part of the Sanrio family, in addition to Hello Kitty and the other 450 friends she has in the world, there is also Mr. Man. Mr. Man is an acquisition. Sanrio owned the company, and there are almost 91 characters. It's a deeply British company with a very strong humoristic, flavor. Extremely successful. Is the #1 IP in France and UK for the preschool target, but working very well all around the world, and for which we have very big plans in the future that I will speak to you maybe more later. What about India? We started our activity in India back in 2014. The Indian business is part of the territories I oversees, but there is a dedicated licensing director based in Dubai, Abdul Ham Jandali, and we have an agent with who we work since the very beginning, that is Dream Theater. At the moment, we have a quite solid business in a 3 key category: apparel, back to school, and soft toys. And we are growing quite well. We are also present in the main distribution channel, working very close with, but not only, with Reliance, Landmark Group, Lulu Group, so the key players in the market. And we have very good, opportunity to work with other channels in 2021 and on. Let's say that our growth in India is focused on 2 key pillars that we can expand if you want. First of all, create a connection with the Indian consumer. That means also to localize and customize our IP to be more acceptable for the taste and the market of India. That is something quite unique, for an international licensor, because part of the Sanrio tradition is really to be relevant for the customer wherever they are. It's not the other way around. So there are tons of content developed with international purpose, suitable across all territories. But what we are doing specifically for India is to create specific assets, customized assets. There are style guides, digital content that is very important in the current market, and much more is also in development. The same for Mr. Man. Mr. Man is even more suitable. We are also open to creating new characters that can be relevant for a specific market. This year, we are celebrating the 50 years anniversary of Mr. Man, and there is an online platform on mrman.com in which you can vote your new character based on how you feel, how you think to be in these ages in the world. The second pillar of our growth is definitely the way in which we work with our licensees. The idea is to go definitely beyond the concept of having just a licensing contract, but to create really a business partnership. And this was extremely important in 2020, when we have shown to our licensees that we were behind and next to them, even in the difficult moment. And this means to be flexible on contracts, business conditions, terms, extension, because it was the moment in which they needed to be supported. This is when I think that to be a licensor or another makes the difference. But in India specifically at the moment, for example, we are working very close with the licensee of apparel, helping them in expanding the business beyond India and having distribution also in Middle East, in Nepal, in Sri Lanka. And this is something for us is very important, because we would like that our business partner can grow in the same way as Sanrio can work with them in each market.
Okay, great. So you have also said something about then my next question on how Sanrio is positioned on the fashion category. I would love to make first a question to Anvita and then share some other thoughts with Silvia about Anvita. So about your actual animation projects, and also what we are facing nowadays, how your IPs, how your properties are somehow facing this period, and how you are looking forward the future for your properties, because this year finally we can start thinking about really post-pandemic.
Sure.
So, which are your plans?
So, of course, it was difficult to 2020 for everybody, and kind of, and this happened in the peak. India has one back to school season, then number of festivals follow that after that. So these are the peaks, seasons, shopping seasons in India. And unfortunately, this happened immediately at the time of back to school, when everybody was getting ready to launch lunch boxes, water bottles, school bags, etc. in the market, and that's the March end, and at the start of the financial year in India, which is 1st April. So that was a we really got hit badly, and the first 2-3 months it was like. It was sinking us, because we never thought that it will go on for 1 year, So it was a gradual process for all of us, for licensors and for licensee. we have extended all possible ways our hand to licensees, because it is our relation with the licensee is going long back. Most of our Chota Beam licenses are for 4 years, 5 years, 6 years. So these are very, long-term licenses. So these kind of hiccups, we have to hold hand of our licensees. So in whichever possible way, we have tried to extend the license periods. We have tried to, sign renewals at a very lower rate, and all those kind of things we have helped whatever it was possible in our hand. But a couple of good things also happened, and you always learn when there's a problem in life. A lot of learnings also come from those problems, and we realized the strength of the partners. They realized the strength of the property, because if you look at Chota Beam licensing, we have a gamut of products in our basket. So we have very strong presence in FMCG. So if you look at Chota Beam is the top licensed property in FMCG in India. Almost all the top companies in India has worked or is working with us. So that portfolio of FMCG gave us a lot of support, because FMCG never stopped doing well, even in COVID. People were not stopped eating or having good time, So the FMCG portfolio kind of gave us a lot of strength. Of course, the toys, the back to school, the apparel, and all those licenses had taken a big hit. But I believe from last 2 months, we are seeing a lot of improvement in the market. Touchwood, from God's case, we kept on signing. Even during the lockdown, every month we were getting the deals. So that shows the strength of the brand Chota Beam. Of course, I will accept the deals were not so big, but the kind of machinery was into the work mode. And my team and I utilized this time to kind of do the networking in a big way, because people were free to talk and people were free to listen. So we kind of went on this strategy. So let's kind of talk to people and make more and more people aware in the industry that what are we offering and how they can benefit from our offer. So that way we spend a lot of time on networking. And from last 2 months, I think we are fine. I feel that 2021 is also not going to be a very great year, but I think we are on the path of recovery. And we should be back to, I think, end of 2021, we will be back to the normal. That's my opinion.
Hope so. Everybody really wish that. I think that you have said the 3 key words that all the main licensors have, I think, done in this period: renew contracts, networking, and support. I think that these have been really the 3 key words so important for all the industry to go ahead forward. So always thinking about the future, Sylvia, let's go back on Hello Kitty, Friends, and also Mr. Man. This is not about a COVID question, let's say, but you have characters that then instead you have developed into fashion and lifestyle icons. How you have joined this kind of very important, relevant, and unique result somehow?
Yes, exactly. Hello Kitty, most of all, is an iconic fashion brand. As you know, we don't rely on movies, we don't rely on, so it's an historical presence since the last 45 years is relevant across targets and gender, and as ambassador again of values that change but are always relevant, like inclusivity, diversity, emotional connection, that are very relevant for the high-end brands that today more than in the past are really focusing in delivering something behind, just an amazing product. They want to really to get a connection and be relevant in the current society. And this is what Hello Kitty means for many of them. And also the Hello Kitty characters, the Hello Kitty and the other characters have a very, they are part of the real world, and they have a say on what happens in the world. They are not mute on that, really. They take position, and they are very active on social media, and they take a strong position on everything is happening in the world. On top of that, after 45 years of history, Hello Kitty has also a nostalgia element that works very well, very high, and we can reach actually from parents to young generations. Last but not least, one element that is very important to work with the high-end companies' flexibility. We trust in our licensor, especially with this level of licenses. So we need to trust in them in creating, sometimes a bit beyond the line, but in full agreement with us, the best products. Really, what really speaks with the new consumer, the one that is really living our days in the good and bad situation. So these are the elements that will never stop, and they will always be evergreen, and then enable us to have fantastic collaboration from Balenciaga, having our presence on the catwalk of Men, on the Men fashion show, and with other incredible brands of the high-end, business.
Yeah, and you agree also with Anvita words in terms of you too, you had the same kind of approach through your partners in terms of renewal of contracts, networking and support. I mean, you have done this similar approach, I mean.
Absolutely. I would say that in addition, what it was also important for us was to make investment. So we have prepared the ground for the restart. So we have strongly invested in marketing initiatives, very often in collaboration and sustain of our licenses, but to keep the market aware, informed about brands, and giving as much as possible exposure on all media, social media, digital most of all, but big also very, very creative. Digital has been for us, and e-commerce that was mentioned in the previous is booming in India and booming everywhere. This is where we are also investing. We are our own web shop, both Mr. Man and Hello Kitty, but we are also investing in the key e-commerce platforms, and this is very important. Speaking about, the 2021, as also Anita said, there will be an initial recovery. It's different from market to market. There will be slightly different terms of timing, but we really hope that by the end of 2021, we will be almost normal situation across the world. So we need to have everything ready. We have to start always, 1 year in advance. So we have done big plans in terms of new way to deliver content in 2021, 22, and 23 in order to give a vision to our licensee what was going to happen, and to trust and keep going and investing in vision of what is going to come. And we are absolutely committed to deliver everything we promise. And it was, I would say, very good, because again, it was more a partnership than a licensing contract. So I fully agree with Anita on renew support, but for us, investment and on our licensing and marketing initiative and on content was crucial.
Yeah, I think that it has been very important also to be supportive in this way. And you have also put on the table another keyword, creativity. That is another very important keyword. In this period, I think that all of us, we have learned to make business in a different way. So in this very tragic period, we got at least a lesson, that is to learn to make business in a different way, with more creativity, and with enhancing more and more the relationship one each other among partners. It has been really crucial. So back to Anvit. also based on this reasoning that we have just done. So all the new challenges that this period has faced to us, in which direction are you developing your brands in India nowadays in this period, and thinking about the future always?
Yeah, so I think that was a very big learning in terms of in pandemic. Whatever we were expecting in next 3 years, I think we had to churn it out in last 6 months. As in when the largest amount of viewership was witnessed in India for screen time. And as you know that everybody was at home, so the maximum screen time were used, and local production houses were shutting down due to the situation in India. Therefore, one of the biggest contributors were OTT platform. This was the first time in India that all these OTT platforms had the maximum viewership, and to witness that, we saw a huge spike in smart TVs. The condition of internet in India has expanding. In 2017, there was a big disruption in internet market in India, and the cost of internet in India is cheapest in the world right now. Therefore, the OTT plays a very vital role. It started with a small screen, that's your mobile phones and your tablets. Then it was for us how to convince these customers to switch from a small screen to a bigger screen. So we saw this trend. The next big trend that we saw was that buying the second television for your living room or bedroom. So as and when, whether it was a nuclear family or a joint family, families want, so an OTT is a complete personal opinion that what is your personal favorite content is. So therefore, families started switching over to the and started buying another television because they wanted to have their own best content playing. Apart from that, as I told you, that again on the bigger screen, the viewership has come due to the timings. Normally, customers used to see on the smaller screen. The biggest advantage that Thomson and Kodak television got was the kind of experience and the kind of content that all these production houses are making for the bigger screen. For example, Dolby Digital, DTS, Atmos, all this, and various other technology are where you can see a better content on a larger screen. So this played a very huge part for this pandemic. Of course, now the biggest problem for the industry is the pricing. As you know that our raw material, mostly it comes from Taiwan and China, and there is an increase of 300% only in the panel pricing. So due to which, as India is a very price sensitive market, and if you increase the pricing, and especially consumer durable, the sales are affected. So almost all the brands now, there's a huge sales have been affected due to this price change. So it's if I need to conclude on pandemic, I think it's a big learning. And one of the best part was doing meetings with your buyers from home. Still e-commerce is such a big platform in India where, selling and buying was still happening only for a month or two where all these restrictions were there. After that, demand was keep on changing and still everything was opened up. And this was a very big disruption in India, especially for e-commerce sector.
I understand, and also yes, let's say that e-commerce now has become such a crucial part of our business. We can't avoid thinking about that anymore. And linking to this, I would love to ask you a question that then I will share also with Silvia and Anvita. Based on everything that has happened and will happen, according to you, which will be the kind of new categories yes, let's say retail and new categories that we have to figure out when we now do business that they were not before somehow?
So if you look at Christina, during the lockdown, the maximum sale licensors were making or giving the licenses were mask, hand sanitizers, and surface disinfectant, you know. So this was definitely the licensee was out of stock or were not able to fulfill the kind of demand. So of course, I feel that pharma is going to be a big. We were already working with pharma. Sanofi is our licensee for vaccine, and in past we have worked with Dr. Reddy's also for many years, where they used to use Chota Beam, premier items, gifting items at doctor's clinic to kind of cajole kids and not think about the vaccine or the pain. So they will use height charts and they will use giveaways, keep the at doctor's clinic. And when doctor is giving the medicine, he used to give one free gift also of Chota Beam to kids. So that was a kind of delight factor for the kids to visit the doctor's clinic. So of course, pharma is one category. It is my personal understanding and the learning. And then I felt that FMCG, as I mentioned, that FMCG, of course, people, it's not a new category but FMCG in India is underexplored. We are the one, Chota Beam is one who has exploded to the maximum, frankly speaking. Because FMCG was not affected by this lockdown at all. Then online education, because all our kids are, and there's every day you hear about one new venture on online education. We have also signed up with a firm, Extra Marks, for online education, but there's so many others. Disney has the association with Byju's. So online education is going to be a big thing. And because I don't see kids are going to school soon if Corona is coming back, as of second wave is coming back. Then I feel insurance, because health insurance or family insurance is a big category where earlier I think India is very untapped market as long as insurance is concerned. And when the industry will grow, I believe the rub-off effect on licensing will also come, because when you're talking to family, and emotional quotient is there, and when kid is involved, so I think the kid licensing automatically gets involved into that. And I think, these are the couple of categories which comes into my mind.
Okay, I would love to ask the same to Silvia and then also to Avneet. Which are, according to you, the new categories that you have seen that have arisen in the business, in the industry? Also, there are new online categories that were not before, for example. So, which is your opinion about?
So I think that there are two elements in this question. First of all, I'm not expecting that the current traditional category will disappear. I think they will change. In apparel especially, I'm expecting to see more products connected to sustainability, eco-friendship, the fact you have something that is connected to the environment in which we are working and connected with, again, there is a value behind, not just a fashion line. That is valid for apparel, for footwear, and for accessories. Speaking about health and beauty, and everything was mentioned, I completely agree. Again, we have to rethink about the kind of products that we would like to see in the market, and which is the added value of our brands, to the products is going to be developed. Regarding education, I agree, and I think that the new tendency will be to go more on soft skills, more than hard education that is in a way or another managed by the traditional educational channels. I'm more thinking about how to behave, social identity, how to behave in this new world. That is very important, especially for the new generation of kids, especially the youngest one. They don't have. Some of them have never been at school yet because they have been locked at home from the very beginning. So they need to understand what it means to have a connection with peers and living in this new world. So soft skills are very important. English learning or language learning in general is very important in order to be citizens of the world as fast as possible. And this is, for example, something is extremely relevant in China in this moment with Mr. Man, that is a deeply British property. And then speaking about new categories, outdoor. Everything is outdoor. It's becoming more and more important with the declination in toys or in any other category. So the new generation of people would like to stay out and enjoy nature and fresh air as much as possible. So outdoor is becoming every day more relevant. And what we call also space licensing. That means dedicated area in parks or a themed restaurant or cafe in the main city. That for us, for some years already a reality. We have we have restaurants, we have bar, we have a place of aggregation for kids and families in a safe, healthy environment. That could be really a potential new business for the future. Art and craft is also, again, as part of stationery, is a traditional category, but it's becoming bigger and bigger. Is how to spend time together, family time, value time. That is another key element in we have to apply when we think about the new products for the future. And as you said, everything goes online. Online should not be just a place where to put kids in watching a video or a content, but using to give them something more, but with through the media they love the most. So again, soft skills, as we said before, but can also be educational as well. And the last thing we are trying right now that's very relevant for India is to create IP per IP collaboration. That means to combine, our international brands with very relevant local IPs to emphasize even further how two people coming from two completely different worlds can live together. So it's a integration. That will be one of our keywords in the future. So be together, be friends. And we will show by combining characters. We have done important, for example, we have Barbie for Hello Kitty that's already in a current collaboration right now, just to, and we are looking for collaboration in India as well. We have Chupa Chups, that is a key collaboration we currently have, but we go also with anime property that in India are, growing. There's another way to reach the niche of market that maybe the single character could not reach.
So I was, as you were talking, Celia, I was checking the questions in the chat room, and somehow you and Anvita, and also Anvita, are giving some answer. I can say that, of course, if you're looking for 2021 trends and what's hot, first before thinking about the brand name, you have to think about the brand trend. So I think, and I see that all the other speakers of this session agree with me, that what will win is what will be on the sustainability, green, connecting, content side. So these will be the keywords. When you will receive pitches of brands that can be successful in India or wherever, first of all, think about these keywords, because if we see how consumers were before and how they are now, consumers are, first of all, more conscious. So they think more about the values of what they are buying. So they don't don't buy and that's all. But what the stage they buy, they see all the values which are behind much more carefully than before. So they really follow up everything that is happening to that specific brand and how that specific brand is then combined with all the other issues. And this was happening also before. But now it is compulsory. Now it is really a key element for all the brands that are on this way. Another thing is that, of course, many brands will say we have become sustainable, we have become green and so on. Please go in deep on their program and check out really and effectively what they are doing on that front. So these are the tips that I feel to share with you very easy, because this will be the key of the future. Another thing that I can say, and Sanrio is an exception, I can say, is that many brands have gone into a kind of crisis somehow during pandemic, because their traditional values were totally dismantled, and they are figuring out and rebuilding their identity to face again the new market. An exception beyond Sanrio is also animation, because in this period of pandemic, TV consumers has become big. So TV content, TV animation series, you see Netflix, and not only everything that is about streaming has become really big, huge. So from that point of view, they have not felt any specific crisis in terms of awareness, but also in that case, they are figuring out how to face the consumer products business, thinking about these new values. So Ambit, also for you, which are, according to you, the new keywords, the new categories, the new business profiles that you will work on in the next future?
Ladies and gentlemen, I am so sorry to bother this party. 1 minute, Mr. Singh. We'll have to wrap this up. We are running a little short on time.
Yes, because we started late, so I hope that we could have more time.
Okay.
Can you just ask to Ambit to complete his answer, and then we
please complete the answer. I just meant for you to keep it concise. That's it.
No problem. So Christina, very quickly, I'll say that I'll focus on all the categories, because all the categories are important for me. As Sylvia mentioned, that on focusing on new categories, we will not forget the traditional one. But at present, as a team, we are focusing on the categories, the newer categories, which I talked about, on healthcare, insurance, and online businesses, basically.
Yeah. I just wanted to have a very last word from Avneet. Sorry, I'm very bad on the pronounce. So just to close from him, and then, well, thank you. And sorry that we started late and we couldn't go in deep as we wanted. So Avneet, if just you want to say a very last word before we finish the session.
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, that I think the game changer will be the webcam televisions, where the largest screen of will be your television, and where you can communicate. You don't need your laptops. You don't need your phones with it. Google has just introduced a new app for television, Dio, where you can just easily install from your Google Play Store of your televisions. And then you can download. All this with webcam, the biggest future will be clicking pictures and making videos while with your voice command. There's a new feature that's coming in your television that will be far field, where it's an AI-based technology. With your voice command, you can switch on, off. You can increase the volume. You can click pictures. Just by a command. So you don't need a remote control for that. We're working on it, and this year we'll be launching. Apart from that, one of the best thing is you're not able to go out. Virtual games, and virtual gym and yoga, where people from inside their living room or from their bedrooms, they can do yoga, they can do some mental fitness exercises. Same way, I think the biggest screen is the biggest disruption that is coming in is online education, where there are very limited apps right now. I think there are more apps that are now Google is developing for large screens. This will again will benefit all the students, where you're seeing for a very long period of time on a smaller screen may hamper your eyes, and then even the visualization or small text has become a bit of a problem. Apart from that, your biggest screen, that is your TV, will be connected to smart homes. As I told you, television will only not be only for the content. It will be connected to all your devices by AI. We have already launched those TVs where you can connect through your air conditioners, your fridge, appliances, everything. Just with one voice command, you can increase the air conditioner temperature. You can, deep freeze or cooling system. You can again change the temperature. So all this is now very much possible. Even you can connect your smart bulbs from television while seeing a movie. You can increase or decrease the light of your bulb. So all this is possible. But now I think with this pandemic, screen is playing a very critical part, and this is a normal day routine now.
So thanks so much. Thanks to the organizers. We hope to have shared with you some very useful keywords to give you a balance on how to move forward in the licensing biz the next few months. And hopefully, let's meet with you soon. Thank you.
Thank you very much to
Thank
all.
you.
Thank you.
Thanking all the panelists so much, and thanking especially our moderator. Thank you so much. This was such an engaging discussion that I wish we could have had this in person. So much knowledge to be shared, and hopefully next year we shall see all of you in person. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.